This is Barry, and that's another story from my past. It's about one of the first jobs I had after I got out of the Navy. This is back in 1960s. I had been accepted into the University of Texas, and I started out there. And towards the end of the school year, I wanted to find a job for me instead of having to work for my dad as an electrician apprentice. I didn't like doing that. So a friend of mine, this fellow student, co-ed, named Laura, and she and I were good friends first, and we kind of started dating. And she told me, said, why don't you go and apply for a playground leader with the Parks and Recreation Department? And her father was the assistant director of that department. And so I did. I went and interviewed with her father, and I got the job. Now, where they assigned me was to Govalle Park. Well, Govalle was a community that I grew up in, and so I gladly accepted that. I thought it was going to be fun, and it was. Playground leader's job is to supervise activities there at the playground. Everything from softball team and art sculpture, art projects, and just all the activities that are there available at the playground. And so I started there. I had another woman, another co-ed, Nancy. She was in law school, and she was just about to finish up and was going to get married, I think soon, after the summer. She and I got along really well. We agreed on the ways to do things, and so what these kids, they come in, register for the summer, and most of them just come at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning and don't leave until 5 or 6 o'clock or so. All these kids, majority of them were Mexican American kids, and I got along great with them. They really liked me, and so one of the first things I did was get together some of the kids for softball. Well, I had a secret guy that was extremely good pitcher, fast pitching softball. And his name was, I think, Johnny Rodriguez. He played on a little league team. He was a pitcher. And then he played for me on our Govalle softball team. And what we do, we'd have games scheduled with other parks. Austin Parks and Recreation Department is one of the best in the nation. It's won a lot of awards. And these are things that we have for the kids every summer. And so I formed this thing up. And of course, these are Mexican American kids, and they're 4 kids. Their parents, if they have 2 parents, they're both working. So I don't have anybody to help transport them around. I had an old Dodge then. It's a big car, and I would manage to stuff 11 kids into this car. I mean, I had a couple of them in the trunk, and when we'd have a game scheduled, we would hop in my car, and I'd transport them to whatever field we were going to play in. So, uh, but Johnny was a really good pitcher, and most of those kids couldn't hit him, get a hit off of him. Uh, as long as I had him there, we did pretty good. But he had little league games too. They had so sometimes he didn't get to go. But I would load these kids up and haul them over to whatever park we were going to play in, and we did pretty well. I think we won our district, but not the whole city. And we had stuff like, we had a big sandbox there, and we'd do sand sculptures. And one year we did Snoopy flying in a plane, I think it was. And different kinds of things like that. The rest of the time, they just supervise them doing regular playground activities. And have games and all kinds of stuff like that. It was a fun job, and I had some really good kids. I had one family, 3 sisters. One was 5, one was 10, and one was about 13. And a 13-year-old was very, very pretty. She was just a real sweet girl. At the little 5-year-old, she was the cutest thing, and she was my sidekick. She would go follow me around wherever I'd go, help or do things. So, and I had other kids. One of the things that I got complimented on by Laura's father, the assistant director, and he said during my time there, they had fewer police calls to come to the park to see what's happening or throw somebody off. And I had a kid there. His name was Gilbert Gilberto, and he was a Golden Gloves boxing champion, and he's a little guy. He wasn't real tall or anything, but he liked me, and anytime some kid comes and starts acting up or doing something stupid or getting in an argument, I'd say, Gibby, tell that guy to get out of here. And Gibby'd go up and do it. Have a little talk with him, the guy would take off. And so I made him my assistant enforcer. But Gibby was a really nice kid, good kid, tough kid. And I had just a wider, most of them were Mexican Americans, working families. And so I enjoyed that greatly. I had a lot of fun, just as much fun as the kids did. So much so that the next summer I did the same thing, and I got at Govalle. So I spent 2 summers there at Govalle and got to know the kids really well. I also did during the fall, I did a basketball program at the local school, Govalle Elementary School. Uh, uh, so, as I said, I loaded those kids up in the car. But after the game, I'd go by, we'd stop by 7-Eleven and buy them all a bottle of soda, Coke or Pepsi or Orange Crush or whatever they wanted. And I paid that out of my own pocket, just because that's what I wanted to do and encourage the kids. And, but I'd come out and I'd take off and we'd drive and the kids got all kinds of candy and all kinds of stuff, little snacks that they had pocketed. I was like, guys, you can't be doing that. Don't do that. You're gonna get in trouble. So, but they really appreciated the things that I did for them and being there. The little 5-year-old girl, I ended up making her the playground princess. It was a competition of being different parks, cutest princess. So I enjoyed that. So I did that 2 summers in a row. Nancy wasn't there the second year because she'd graduated from law school and gone on, got married and started being a lawyer. But I got another girl who's also a student at UT, and she and I got along too. The kids enjoyed the competition. They loved to meet the rich kids' parks. They enjoyed that. So I did that for 2 summers. I got to know the kids really well, and they got to know me pretty well too. So much so, years later, when I was married to Laura and I got married, and it was at least 15 years later, Laura and I were grocery shopping at an HEB. That's a big chain supermarket in Texas, and we were pushing the cart along, and this woman comes up to me. Are you Barry Brookshire? Okay. I said, yeah, it's me, Gloria. And she was one of the 3 sisters that I told you about. And she, oh, how you doing? I got married to such and such guy, and blah, blah, blah. And then, a week or 2 later, Laura was going shopping, and I wasn't going that day. She went to the supermarket, and she was going around. That woman spotted her. Said, "You're Barry's wife, right?" She said, "Yes." She said, "Your husband was just such a wonderful man. He's the only white man that ever did anything for us, for those kids there." And made Laura proud and made me very proud to hear that. And unfortunately, the little girl that was a 5-year-old had grown up and was probably 18, 19, 20. And she was getting ready to be married when she had a traffic accident and it killed her. And I was very sad to hear about that. But the kids at Govalle, I have always had a very fondness in my heart for those kids there, as they made my life much better. And so that was one of the better jobs I've had. Uh, Probably second to me being a park ranger with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. That was a great job. But teaching was also a great job too. I enjoyed that. I miss that. Uh, Sometimes I think I ought to go up to a school and ask them if they would like somebody to teach English or something like that. But I did that in Taiwan, and the kids really loved me there too. Uh, one principal said that I should be teaching elementary school because I have a very nurturing character to me about me that kids really pick up on. So that's one of my many jobs that I've held in my life, and I enjoyed most of them. That's about it for today. My physical problem that I've been having, the doctor said that I've got a pinched nerve, and he's given me some medication and stuff to take. I don't know if Laura's picked it up yet, but well, everything's going pretty good. It's another hot day. Not too bad. It's not bad at all outside. Just inside the house, it gets a little warm. And I did turn on the air conditioner for a couple of hours this afternoon when I was cooking my food. So that's it. Take care, stay safe, and take care of your family, your pets. Don't forget them. There's a couple of mine. There's Butter, there's Apollo. Oh, and there's Pepper staying up underneath there. Yeah, you waking up? And I don't know, oh, there's Lily. Lily, say bye. Lily's out hunting. She's looking for mice or snakes or lizards. Nothing will keep her from doing that. All right, y'all take care, and I'll see you again tomorrow, maybe.